Yo, I'm back with NFL Week. What week are we on? 9? Jeez, we're over halfway through the season now. Week 9 NFL picks and predictions. First things first, we're going to go ahead and do a recap. I wasn't able to make my picks on PickWatch, which is the site that I usually make my picks on last week. Wasn't able to because I had to leave for vacation before they were able to get the next picks up and running. But I was able to make my prediction video just in time. So, without further ado, last week I believe I picked the Texans. I could barely remember. The picks I made were so long ago. And I'm not looking at the spreadsheet, so I'm not sure I know who won the games, but usually on this it'll tell me exactly who I picked. And I don't have that unless I refer to my other video. So, but I have a pretty good memory, so I picked the Texans, and Houston ended up winning the game, unfortunately, for Tennessee's sake. Eagles Jaguars, I picked Philly in this game, and I went on about a 2-minute rant as to how the Jaguars are not that good. Not that good of a football team. The defense has been exposed. The offense, especially without the running game, has been exposed, and Philadelphia won the game. Jets at Bears, I picked Chicago, and Chicago took care of business. Buccaneers at Bengals, I picked Cincy in this game. I said I thought Tampa would keep it close, but that the Bengals would ultimately win the game. So right now I'm 4-0. Seahawks at Lions, I picked Detroit, expecting them to put up a better performance at home, and they laid a big old goose egg, and they lost by 2 scores. So that's the first game of the week that I got incorrect. The Seahawks ended up winning the game, and the Seahawks quietly are 4-3, right in the middle of the NFC wildcard picture. So that means I'm 4-1. Broncos at Chiefs, I picked Kansas City. I'm 5-1. Redskins at Giants, I picked Washington, so I'm now 6-1. That was a pretty easy game for me to pick. Washington quietly just making these steps. Big game next week against the desperate Falcons team. Browns at Steelers, I picked Pittsburgh. I ended up getting that game right. So let's see here. Right now I'm 7-1. Ravens at Panthers. All right. Baltimore, I got to talk to you guys for a second, okay? As potent as you guys can look, there are some times where you have a game that just makes me scratch my head. So I picked the Ravens in this game, expecting Carolina, and yet again, Carolina proves me wrong. I've picked against the Panthers more often than not this year, expecting the inconsistencies that I saw last year, but I'm not getting that. So, mad respect to Carolina, I see you. Got that game wrong, so right now I'm 7-2. Colts Raiders, I got that game wrong, 7-3. Man, Oakland is a bad team. They're that bad, guys. The Indianapolis Colts quietly are 3-5. Quietly have winnable games coming up. Quietly have put up more than like 30 points in their last 2 games. So 7-3 right now I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Just want to make sure there's 14 games. Packers Rams. I picked the Rams, and I got this game right. I know it's ballsy going against Aaron Rodgers with his back up against the wall against a superior team, but I stuck with my guns. I stuck with the Rams, and the Rams didn't let me down. 8-3. 49ers at Cardinals. Man, every single time these two teams get together, it always ends in a close victory for the Cardinals. And Larry Fitzgerald's usually the guy that pulls it off. It's weird. I got this game wrong. Although I could have gone either way. You can't fault me for picking San Fran with how bad the Cardinals have looked. Josh Rosen, that was huge for his development. So right now I am 9-4, right? No, 8-4. Yep. Saints at Vikings. I picked the Saints in this game, and the Saints didn't let me down. So I'm 9-4, and then the Patriots Bills. I picked New England, obviously, so I finished this week with a record of 10-4. So when I go to what my current overall record is, drum roll please, 10-4, straight up picks. This isn't even going to have my record updated, unfortunately, which sucks, because I'm competing against all these other people on this website. 10-4. Alright. I have a straight up picking record of 76 wins and 43 losses. 76 and 43. I'm going to write that down just so I know. 76 and 43. That's not bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's well over 60%. $76 and 43. And 2. So that's what? 119. So that means my percentage is 119. 63.8% of games I have gotten correct. Alright, now without further ado, let's get to our Week 9 picks and predictions. Your picks. The first game is quite a doozy of a game. It's going to be really good. We got the 1-7 Oakland Raiders going up against the 1-6 Oakland Raiders going up against the 1-7 49ers. Loser of this game becomes the worst team in the league, or tied with the Giants to be the worst team in the league. Why is this game televised? You know what? I'm going to be fair here. You cannot fault the NFL for picking this game to be nationally televised. You can't. Why? Why can't you? Because coming into this year, everyone was looking at the Raiders and was like, John Gruden, Khalil Mack, all of these players. John Gruden, Derek Carr, Battle of the Bay going up against Jimmy Garoppolo and the revamped 49ers offense. That was what this game was supposed to be. Not the worst team in the league going up against the third worst team in the league. I mean, sometimes the NFL schedule pickers they can't plan for this. So, with that being said, it's not even a road game. I gotta go with the Niners, though, because the Raiders are just that bad, and the 49ers have proven that they can put points up in bunches, and the Raiders also just lost to Amari Cooper. So, yeah, go with the Niners in this game, 23-20 over the Raiders. Next game, Bears at Bills. I'm scared about this game, and I'll tell you why I'm scared. It's a weird story. I live near Buffalo, and on the radio, every once in a while, I've heard it like 3 times. Every once in a while, the radio station will say, "Get ready for when the Bills smack down X team." And every single time it's been a ridiculous game. Like, I've heard it now on 3 separate occasions. I forgot what one of them was the game against, but I know Buffalo were massive underdogs. One was last year, as I was pulling out of work. It said, "Get ready as the Bills smack down the Broncos." This was when Denver was 2-0. And Denver looked really, really, really good. And I whispered to myself in the car, I was like, more like, "Get smacked down by the Broncos." I said something smart like that. Then what happens? The Bills go out and they smack down the Broncos. And then I heard it again this year when the Bills are playing the Vikings. They said the same things, like, "Get ready for when the Bills smack down the Minnesota Vikings." And I'm like, smack down? You mean get cremated against that team? Please tell me that's what you mean. And the Bills go out and they cremate the Minnesota Vikings. And the funny thing about it too is I heard the same thing with the Bears. I said, get ready for when the Bills smack down the Bears. And I said the same thing in my car. More like get smacked down by Chicago. So I'm 0-2, or the Bills are 2-0 when I hear them on the radio against a far superior team. That's weird. That being said, I still gotta pick the Bears. There's no way I can pick the Bills to win this game. Not with Nathan Peterman starting at quarterback. There's absolutely no way I'm picking this team. The Bears are gonna wreak havoc, and they're gonna win this game like 31-6. Giving the Bills 6 points is generous with Nathan Peterman at quarterback. Chiefs at Browns. I gotta go Kansas City here. Cleveland, they're in disarray. They have a new interim coach now, Greg Williams. The Chiefs should win this ball game pretty easily. We'll go 38-14 over Cleveland. I got to give Cleveland more than 14 points. We'll give them 24. Chiefs defense aren't exactly world beaters. Jets at Dolphins. I'm gonna pick the Jets. I'm gonna pick the Jets in this game. Miami is starting Brock Osweiler again, and Brock Osweiler has done Brock Osweiler things besides the win against the Bears a couple weeks ago. The Jets, they're learning, and I think it'll come around in this game. I think they'll get the win, and that'll mean the Jets will be second place in the division. We'll go 24-21 over Miami. The Jets win. That'll be one of my upset picks of the week. Lions at Vikings, gotta go Minnesota here. I can't trust the Lions, and watch them go out and beat Minnesota, because that's a Lion thing to do. The Lions are like the Titans of the AFC. They lose to the teams they should beat, and they beat the teams that they have no business beating. I mean, it's that clear. And Minnesota is at home. I believe they will get this win against Detroit. We'll go 26-19 over the Lions. Next up, we have what I think to be one of the more interesting games of Week 9. The Atlanta Falcons traveling to take on the Washington Redskins. This game, I think, is vastly underrated. This, I think, is going to be a fantastic game. The Falcons' defense can't stop anybody. But they're desperate. I'm going to keep rolling with Washington. I'm going to keep doing it. Until Adrian Peterson proves to me otherwise, that he doesn't look 33 years old or however the hell old he is, I'm going to keep rolling with Washington. I said it in my Power Rankings video way back in Week 1 that Washington has the ability to be sneaky good this year. And then they lost to the Colts, which made me question that. But ever since that loss to Indy, and they were 1-1, they've rattled off 4 of their next 5 games. So I got to roll with the Redskins. They're hot right now. In Atlanta, I know they're coming off, I think, a bye week, but that defense can't stop a nosebleed. So I got to go Washington 29-26 over Atlanta. Buccaneers at Panthers. If Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know what? It's sad. I feel better about the Buccaneers with Fitzpatrick at quarterback than with Jameis Winston at quarterback. I've been saying it for years. I don't care how Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota, like, how do I say this? They're underachieving this year. They have underachieved as the first and second round picks in the league, but for different reasons. And this is my belief. Marcus Mariota, I think, is fine, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying it. I think he's fine. Yes, he struggles sometimes. I'll give him that. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not these top tier quarterbacks. He can be. He can still be. He's got the work ethic and the mentality to do it. But I would take Marcus Mariota over Jameis Winston any day of the year, regardless of how poorly he's doing for different reasons. Jameis Winston has zero excuses. He has Sean Jackson, Mike Evans, and Peyton Barber's a pretty decent running back, I think. Jameis Winston has zero excuses. He has the offensive talent around him to be good. And I guarantee you, if Marcus Mariota had Deshaun Jackson, O.J. Howard, Mike Evans, and all these guys to throw to, oh my goodness, I honestly think Marcus Mariota would be lighting up scoreboards. I do. Because Marcus Mariota does not turn the ball over. And if you look at Mariota's stats this year, yes, he's thrown, I think, like 3 touchdowns to 5 interceptions or something along those lines. But Mariota has a supporting cast problem. I say this every week. Look at his wide receivers, guys. I was mad when John Robinson didn't go out before the trade deadline and pick up one of these guys because our receivers stink. I mean, Tajae Sharpe is our most reliable receiver. Let that sink in for a second. Tajae Sharpe is Tennessee's most reliable receiver. There's 5 tiers of receivers. There's like the Antonio Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, and then the next tier's like your AJ Greens and Keenan Allens. Tier 3 is your Golden Tates and your whatever, and then tier 4 I consider like your Pierre Garçons and your whatever, and then tier 5 I'll consider like Devin Funchess. These guys are reliable in different tiers, and every single team has 1, 2, or 3 of these receivers in any one of these tiers. Tennessee doesn't have a single wide receiver in any of those tiers. They have the nobodies. They're in the same boat as Jacksonville and Buffalo. You can make a case with Buffalo with Calvin Benjamin. You can. But you look at Blake Bortles, you look at Mariota, and you look at whoever the Bills decide to throw in at quarterback. Marcus Mariota is better than those other 2 quarterbacks by a long shot. But still, every single one of those quarterbacks, regardless of their struggles, has suffered from insufficient play from the offense surrounding them. And Mariota's only thrown 5 picks this year. Regardless of how many touchdowns he's thrown or how the Tennessee offense has struggled, you could chalk that up to a bunch of different reasons, all collectively. Mariota has 5 turnovers this year, and Jameis Winston has 10. And Jameis Winston's played in 3 less games. 2 less games. Mariota was hurt 1 game. We'll give him that. But still, oh my goodness, people. I've been saying it since they were drafted. Mariota was clearly the better choice. And Jameis, you're seeing that now. Jameis Winston's a turnover machine, and you can't trust him off the field. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But if Ryan Fitzpatrick starts this game, or the other one, Jameis Winston, Carolina, I still think is going to win the game. We'll go. If Fitzpatrick starts, 30-4. If Winston starts, 33-17. But still results in a Carolina victory. Steelers at Ravens. The Ravens already won 1 game this year. And you know what? I'm going to say they win 2 games this year. I think the Ravens defense knows the Steelers offense well enough to be able to stop them and sweep the season series. Which means, what's Pittsburgh's record? 4-2-1. Baltimore's 4-4. 4-3-1 and 5-4. That'll be the records at the end of the day. I'm gonna pick the Ravens to win this game, 20-14, because the Ravens defense knows the Steelers offense. This is a rivalry game, and Baltimore's already done it once. Listen, as the Ravens defense had an anomaly of a game against the Panthers. I'm going to go ahead and chalk it up to that. The Ravens are still a very good football team. Remember, this is a team that shut 3 opponents out last year. The Ravens did. They went 9-7, and 3 of their wins were shutouts. The Ravens are a really, really good team when they get rolling. They just are inconsistent. And I think their inconsistencies will show here. After dropping 2 straight games, I think they're going to get back on the winning track against Pittsburgh. Next game, we have the Texans at the Broncos. Go Denver. I believe the Broncos don't lose at home. they just don't. They're a very good home team. Houston's had some extra time to prepare, but Houston's due for a letdown after reeling off 5 improbable wins. In some of these wins have come in ridiculous fashion. And the Texans did get better with Demaryius Thomas immediately going against his old team. That's you don't see that often. Broncos, I think, are going to get the win 26-23 over Houston. Texans will keep it close, but let's be honest, Houston's due a loss and Denver's due a win. So we're going to go Denver. Chargers at Seahawks. This is one of these next 3 games are probably the 3 best games of the week. Chargers at Seahawks. I'm going to keep rolling with the Chargers. I like what the Chargers are doing right now. I know the Seahawks have won 4 or 5 games. And I know the Seahawks are really good at home. But I think the Chargers have the ammunition to be able to stop them. As long as they're not out physicaled. So, that being said, I think the Chargers will win this game 22-16 over Seattle. I think it'll be a little lower scoring than people think it's going to be. I think both defenses will show up to play. Next game, we have the Saints at home against the Rams. Wow. What a game this is going to be. I know I'm tired. I'm always tired in these videos. Oh, this is going to be great. Jeez, who's going to win? You know what? I rolled with the Rams against Aaron Rodgers. What is going on in a second? What's going on with my movie maker? Are you okay? I've been saying it for years. I need a new laptop. I really do. Maybe I'll get one for Christmas. Who knows? Alright. While Movie Maker's doing its thing, whatever the hell it's doing, I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game. Very close, high-scoring game. There we go. Now we're up and running. Bit of a lag. But not terrible. Okay. Saints win. Really? Yeah, I'm gonna go Saints. Saints win this game 35-31 over the Rams. They outscore them. That's how you beat this Rams team. No amount of defense is going to do anything. That being said, I'm taking a big risk picking the Saints. I know they're probably favored in this game, but the Rams just scare me. That offense is ridiculous. And this is going to be a fun game to watch, and it should be televised. Next up, the night game. We have the Packers at the Patriots. I'm going Green Bay here because I don't know if there's 2 fantastic matchups, the Rams Saints and the Packers Patriots. I don't know if both home teams win. I think one away team is gonna sneak away a victory here, and I'm gonna go Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, his back is really up against the wall, and they need to win this game, especially with the Bears going against Buffalo. The Packers cannot afford to lose here against the Patriots. Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady. I know the Patriots are at home. I'm going to go Green Bay, and I'm going to stick with that. 30-27 the score will be, and I think it'll be that close. Of course, they're playing the Patriots, but that is my risky pick of the week. I'm picking Green Bay. I'm picking against the Patriots at home. The night game, we have Tennessee at Dallas. Oh my god. I hate this team. I hate the Titans. I hate them so much. Both teams coming off a bye. Dallas has been unbeaten at home. I think that continues. Listen. For those of you saying it's going to be an easy win for Dallas, Tennessee had one bad game against the Ravens. Other than that, all of their other games have been decided by one score or less. Well, one score. 2 of Tennessee's 4 losses are by 1 point, regardless of who they played. The other loss was that Week 1 debacle in Miami, where the game lasted longer than the trilogy of Star Wars. Okay, not that long, but pretty long. So, other than that Ravens game, Tennessee's been very, very competitive. And Tennessee's defense are no slouches either. In Dallas, I know, maybe with Amari Cooper it'll be okay. Dallas struggles on offense. So this game is a game against 2 teams with similar strengths and similar weaknesses. Dallas and Tennessee don't really have prolific offenses, but they both have pretty good defenses. 16-13 could win this ball game. But I got to go with Dallas because they have a solidified running game. And I think Ezekiel Elliott is due for a day against Tennessee. Tennessee's run stopper, Wesley Woodyard, is back, so that will help this team. But don't overlook this Titans team, guys. I say it every single week. I said it last week against the Chargers, or 2 weeks ago against the Chargers. I said, listen, Tennessee's going to keep it closer than you think. They did. Tennessee they were a bad decision away from beating the Chargers. And they were a drop pass away from beating the Bills. 2 plays go differently for this team. They run the ball at the goal line with Henry against the Chargers. They win 21-20. Nick Williams catches that BS pass against the Bills, against Buffalo. They beat the Bills. 2 plays are the difference between Tennessee being 3-4 and 5-2. That is the margin of error in the NFL. And I guarantee you, if Tennessee pulled those 2 plays off, those 2 simple plays, you catch a ball and you run the ball on the goal line. Tennessee does those 2 things, they are favored in this game. People look at them as a 5-2 team and a pretty decent contender. That's what people look at this team as. But because those 2 plays don't go their way, they're mediocre. They're a bad football team. Listen, they're not a bad football team. Tennessee just can't get out of their own way. That's the issue with this team. They cannot get out of their own way. So I think that'll continue against Dallas, and believe me, Tennessee needs to win this game, guys. And I'm picking against them. They need to win this game because next week they get the Patriots. They're staring 3-6 in the face, which they cannot afford. But that being said, I gotta go with Dallas here. They're at home. Dallas has been ridiculously good at home. Tennessee has been less than stellar on the road. Those are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. And as soon as Movie Maker decides to work, I will piece it. So, thanks for watching. Taking my time. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.